And Justin even put it more on the spot. This is my last fight on ESPN.
Oh.
Yeah. Because this is no longer, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. This is why this fight means everything to me. If they want the black fighters, they could keep them. I brought Bud Light to Top Rank.
Let's address the race. A lot of media seem to be saying I'm against black people. That's absolutely f***ing ridiculous. Do they not know I'm half black? Yeah! I'm half black from the belly button down.
No, people want to call me racist for what? What have I said racist about? Black fighters? Black fighters, listen, I'm a black fighter, for crying out. I fight like a black fighter, and I'm Spanish. So, shoot, I'm black from the waist down, you feel me?
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So, Teofimo Lopez, he did this interview after he beat Josh Taylor, where he finally comes clean and admits that he doesn't have any intentions of fighting Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Tank Davis, or Devin Haney. And he explains why. He admits it never had anything to do with money or being the A-side. Now, I'm going to play this clip for you guys again, but I want to surmise it, which is going to bring us right into what he actually said about Gervonta Tank Davis when it comes to his facial features. So in this clip, Teofimo is basically saying he doesn't want to fight any of those three fighters because he believes that he will lose to them. This is pretty much what he's saying because he's already making an excuse, and the most ridiculous excuses, by the way, for why he would lose to Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, and Shakur Stevenson. Just go ahead and check out this clip.
Everybody wants to see you fight guys like Devin, Gervonta, Shakur. There's no way in hell, like, you're just going to walk away from those big fights, and even though you have accomplished more than a lot of those guys, you're just going to walk away from fighting guys like that now?
I am. Yeah, I am. I think the reason why I'm walking away is
that
not...
competitive fire's not in there, man?
It's not about the competitiveness. I could beat those guys if it was just those guys that I'm fighting. I'm fighting the referee, I'm fighting the judges, I'm fighting their cornerman, and I'm fighting the commentators. It's too many fights for me. That right there is like enough is enough. You know how many times they're gonna try to force? If I sign another contract, this is how I see it. Let's say I sign a contract. Let's say with Tank, and we face each other. They'll find a way to postpone the fight and keep postponing the fight, having me wait my time.
Okay, guys, so you just heard Teo make this stunning admission that he doesn't have the confidence that he can beat these three fighters. Because according to Teofimo, the referees are going to be against him. The commentators are going to be against him. The cornermen are going to be against him. And even the judges are going to be against him. The same judges that had him beating Sandor Martin and Jermaine Ortiz overwhelmingly. And keep in mind, guys, Teo wasn't worried about any of these things being against him when he was fighting Josh Taylor or Lomachenko or Sandor Martin. So after Teo makes this admission, someone who was off camera, they could clearly see that Teofimo was drowning in his own confessions. And you could tell this guy was like, Teo, why are you telling them the truth? Why are you being so honest? You don't know how to stay on code? So this guy throws Teofimo a lifeline, encouraging him to diss Gervonta Tank Davis.
What's everybody gonna say? Teofimo pulled out.
Don't forget the rehydration clause he likes to do on guys.
Now you see Teo thinking. Now watch how he switches it up.
That's a move.
I know, I agree.
Okay. Tank, hold up. Gervonta, you are a I don't care what anybody says. You can be all that rah-rah thug life and scream and jock your head on Chief Keith Sosa. Man.
And then out of nowhere, for no rhyme or reason, Teo, he says this.
Man, with your sucking lips, get out of here.
You know, guys, Teofimo and a lot of stuff that happens in the sport of boxing is like a suspense movie. You know, when you get closer to the end of the movie and it all starts to make sense, and then you start thinking back, saying to yourself, oh, well, that's why he said this, and that's why he said that earlier on in the movie. Now it all makes sense. And when it comes to Teofimo, it completely all makes sense. Teofimo Lopez is fuming with envy over the black fighters. Even when Teofimo was talking about Gervonta Tank Davis, how he comes out with Chief Keef, He's basically saying, yeah, you think you're so cool how you bob your head and you coming out with Chief Keef. Guys, he is jealous of Gervonta's swag. And he's jealous of the fact that Gervonta and Devin Haney, they're selling out arenas and making 3, 4, 5 times more money than he makes. I mean, not only does Teofimo not believe that he can beat them, but he's also jealous of them. And this is not up for debate because even his own father admitted this when he was trying to justify the racist things that his son says. So in this clip I'm about to play for you guys, Senior is being asked by a reporter to clear up what his son meant when he was talking about they can keep the black fighters. And this was his response.
Holding more of the black fighters as opposed to, I guess, himself and things
well,
like that.
Listen,
Can you just like kind of clear it up?
Let me close it up real close. Let me close it up really fast. All right. My son-in-law is black. Okay. I just had a grandson. You know, so he's black and he's half black and he's half Spanish.
Guys, why is it when someone says, my son-in-law is black or my grandson is black, I have a black cousin, why do they try to make it sound like it's as simple as grocery shopping? You could just go in the shop and pick and choose who you want to be in your family. You know, I just looked around and noticed our family doesn't have any black people. So let me go ahead and add some to the family. First of all, it wouldn't matter if you yourself had a black wife or you date nothing but black women. Some of the most racist people in this country have a black wife, have a black girlfriend, or just like black women. So that proves absolutely nothing. But in Senior's case, he's trying to take credit for his family members choosing a black man or a black woman to fall in love with. How do you take credit for who they fell in love with? Because you didn't disown them? There's different categories of racism. Just because you're not a Nazi or a Klan member burning crosses on people's lawns doesn't exonerate you from being a racist. I mean, if you have black family members, you should be offended when you hear somebody say stuff about black people if you truly love them like your family. It shouldn't only be mentioned that you have black family members when you're trying to defend being a racist or someone you know being a racist. You know, I remember when I was in Las Vegas years back, it was this white girl at the boxing gym. We were talking boxing. We was talking about Floyd Mayweather. Now, she happened to have a black boyfriend and she had kids with him. So she tells me she goes to this fight party where the majority of fans there were Mexican. So some of the fans there, they start calling Floyd Mayweather all kind of racial slurs. And this girl that was there, she told me she got extremely offended and she told them, y'all gotta cut that out. My son is half black. And after she said that, her and her friend ended up leaving. They didn't even finish watching the fight. Now that sounds like a person that's not racist, because she took offense to someone saying something racist, as opposed to her going around saying racist things about black people and then trying to justify it by telling people, oh, you know, my son is half black, so I'm not racist, by the way. I officially have my black card. Let's get back to this clip.
You know, I don't care about blacks. I don't care about whites. I don't care about no religion, bro. I see everybody the same. You know, and everybody that's been around me, they know that. You know, I don't want to say nothing. What my son meant was he feels like they're giving more priority to the black fighters because, look, if you've seen, Devin Haney was never even with freaking Top Rank. He comes and signs with Top Rank. He's getting $4 million to fight freaking Lomachenko, or 3 or 4 million, whatever it is. When my son fought Loma and it was for all the belts, he only got $1 million. You understand? So that's where the shit is coming from, you know? He feels a little bit hurt, and I understand him. But my son is a good kid. He loves, and I freaking, listen, I raised him in a good way. You understand? I raised him that there's no color. There's the human race, and that's what we are. We're the human race. You understand? And he knows that. He knows that better than anybody. You know, so when he said that comment was that he was referring that they're favoring this little, like, posse that they got right now with Top Rank, you know, and we're talking about Horror, we're talking about Devin Haney, we're talking about Keyshawn Davis, we're talking about Baby, we're talking about all this, like, big group, very talented guys that I love. You know, I got nothing against them. I don't want to say nothing. What my son meant was he feels like they're giving more priority to the black fighters because, look, if you've seen, Devin Haney was never even with freaking Top Rank. He comes and signs with Top Rank. He's getting $4 million to fight freaking Lomachenko, or 3 or 4 million, whatever it is. When my son fought Loma and it was for all the belts, he only got $1 million. You understand? So that's where the shit is coming from, you know? He feels a little bit hurt, and I understand him.
Okay, so Senior is saying that Teofimo is just upset because Devin Haney was making like $3-4 million against Lomachenko when he only made $1 million. So if that's the case, why is Senior talking about this posse? Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, and Big Baby Miller. Those guys are not making Devin Haney money. Not even close. So why have they been included into this group of black fighters that Teofimo Lopez has a problem with? Teo didn't say you guys can keep Devin Haney. He said you can keep the black fighters. Teo had a problem with Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, and Bruce Carrington all being on the same card and being promoted as the next upcoming stars, which is what a promoter is supposed to do, by the way. But there were also Puerto Ricans on those cards. There were also other prospects that were not black that fought on Shakur Stevenson's undercards. And Teo did not include any of these fighters. And it's because Teo is not worried about losing to any of those other fighters, and he's not jealous of any of the non-black fighters on Top Rank. At the end of the day, Teofimo Lopez, he knows what he's supposed to do if he truly feels that there are fighters that are getting more shine than he's getting. If he feels that he should be in their position, you're supposed to beat them. Because when a fighter truly believes he's the best, that's what he does. He goes after the guy that the fans are saying is better than him. They're pound for pound one of the best fighters above him. After all, this is the reason why Teofimo went after Lomachenko. Because people were saying that he was pound for pound #1 the best fighter in the world or top 2 one of the best fighters in the world. Now the boxing world, they rank Devin Haney above Teofimo Lopez. And on top of it, Teofimo is going to get paid way more fighting a Devin Haney than he got paid fighting against Lomachenko. So why isn't he going after Devin Haney the same way he went after Lomachenko or Josh Taylor? We know what time it is. And guys, there's a reason why Teofimo keeps telling people that he called up Devin Haney. He tried to make the fight, but Devin Haney didn't want it. He never goes into detail of what exactly was said. He just says he made the call and he didn't want it. And the reason why he doesn't want to reveal what was actually said is because his dad started talking to Bill, and his dad told Bill that they were the A side because they're the lineal champion, and the only way the fight can happen is if they're the A side. But yet at the same time, they're complaining about the fact that Devin Haney is making 2-3 times more than they're making. And Teo Sr. and Jr., they both said, how come Devin Haney didn't offer us the $20 million that they offered Gervonta? Does that really sound like someone that called Devin Haney and was ready to make the fight? And in Teo's last fight, they did horrible numbers, only selling 6,000 tickets in an arena that held 12,000. In the same arena that Devin Haney sold out when he fought against Jorge Linares years ago. And only 500,000 people turned in to watch the fight for free. By way of contrast, when Devin Haney fought George Kambosos the first time on regular ESPN, 1.3 million people tuned in. And those were only the US fans, not the Australian fans. The numbers never lie, and they always tell you a complete different story than some of the stuff you will hear some of these fans say. The only way Teofimo is going to fight a Devin Haney or a Gervonta Tank Davis is if he has enough money to retire, because he truly doesn't believe he can win those fights. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo Diki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodiki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, Visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.